Greece, where gods, heroes, and mythical creatures roamed the land, sea, and sky. It was a world brimming with legends and epic tales, where the line between reality and myth was beautifully blurred. Today, we're diving into this fascinating world to uncover the top 10 mythical creatures from ancient Greek mythology. Get ready for an adventure through some of the most thrilling and enduring tales ever told. So let's embark on this mythical journey together. Our first creature is the Minotaur, a fearsome being with the body of a man and the head of a bull. The Minotaur was housed in the labyrinth of Crete, a complex maze designed by the genius inventor Daedalus. According to legend, King Minos of Crete kept the Minotaur in this labyrinth to hide the monstrous offspring of his wife, Pasiphae, and a divine bull. The story begins with King Minos angering the god Poseidon by not sacrificing a beautiful bull. In revenge, Poseidon cursed Minos' wife, Pasiphae, to fall in love with the bull, resulting in the birth of the Minotaur. To conceal this shame, Minos ordered Daedalus to build the intricate labyrinth where the beast would be imprisoned. Every year, 7 young men and 7 young women from Athens were sent into the labyrinth as a tribute to Minos, where they were ultimately devoured by the Minotaur. The hero Theseus volunteered to enter the labyrinth to put an end to this horror. With the help of Minos' daughter Ariadne, who provided him with a ball of thread to trace his path, Theseus managed to navigate the maze, confront the beast, and kill it using a sword. The Minotaur symbolizes human savagery in the struggle to overcome our darker instincts. Next up is Medusa, one of the 3 Gorgons, and arguably the most infamous. Medusa had snakes for hair and a gaze that could turn anyone who looked at her into stone. Unlike her sisters, Medusa was mortal, and her story is one of tragedy and horror. Medusa was once a beautiful maiden, but she incurred the wrath of Athena. Accounts vary, but many suggest that Medusa was either vain about her beauty or was violated by Poseidon in Athena's temple. Enraged, Athena transformed her into a monster with venomous snakes for hair and a gaze that petrified anyone who met her eyes. Perseus, the son of Zeus and Danae, was tasked with bringing back Medusa's head by King Polydectes. Armed with gifts from the gods, including a mirrored shield from Athena, winged sandals from Hermes, a sword from Hephaestus, and Hades' helm of invisibility, Perseus set out to find Medusa. Using the mirrored shield to avoid her deadly gaze, Perseus approached Medusa while she slept and decapitated her. From Medusa's blood sprang the winged horse Pegasus and the giant Chrysaor. Perseus used Medusa's head as a powerful weapon to turn his enemies to stone. Medusa's head, with its petrifying gaze, became a symbol of the defeat of chaos and danger. The Hydra, a multi-headed serpent, terrorized the swamps of Lerna. Each time one of its heads was cut off, 2 more would grow back in its place, making it a nearly invincible foe. The Hydra's breath was also deadly, adding to its fearsome reputation. The Hydra was the offspring of Typhon and Echidna, making it sibling to other fearsome creatures like Cerberus and the Chimera. It lived in the marshes of Lerna, a place considered an entrance to the underworld. Killing the Hydra was one of the 12 labors assigned to Hercules, by King Eurystheus. Armed with a sickle, Heracles initially found that cutting off the Hydra's heads only made the situation worse. He called upon his nephew Iolaus for assistance. Together, they discovered that cauterizing the necks with a torch prevented the heads from regenerating. After severing and cauterizing all the mortal heads, Heracles finally buried the immortal head under a massive rock. He then dipped his arrows in the Hydra's poisonous blood, making them deadly. The Hydra symbolizes the never-ending struggles and challenges we face in life. Cerberus is the 3-headed dog that guards the entrance to the underworld, preventing the dead from leaving and the living from entering. This monstrous canine is often depicted with a mane of snakes, a serpent's tail, and lion's claws, making it a truly terrifying guardian. Cerberus is one of the many offspring of Typhon and Echidna, sharing this monstrous lineage with creatures like the Hydra and the Chimera. Cerberus's job was to ensure that once souls entered the realm of Hades, they could not escape, and no living being could enter without permission. Cerberus appears in several myths, but one of the most famous is the 12th labor of Heracles, where he was tasked with capturing Cerberus and bringing him to the surface world without using any weapons. Heracles managed to wrestle the beast into submission, and present it to King Eurystheus before returning it to Hades. Cerberus represents the finality of death and the barrier between the living and the dead, symbolizing the inescapable nature of mortality. The Chimera is a fire-breathing creature with the body and head of a lion, a goat's head protruding from its back, and a serpent's tail. It was a fearsome beast that terrorized the lands of Lycia in Asia Minor. The Chimera was another offspring of Typhon and Echidna, making it a sibling to Cerberus and the Hydra. This monstrous combination of different animals made the Chimera an especially terrifying creature to behold. The hero Bellerophon, riding the winged horse Pegasus, was tasked with slaying the Chimera. Using a spear with a block of lead attached to the end, Bellerophon managed to suffocate the Chimera by melting the lead in its throat with the creature's own fiery breath. This clever use of strategy and courage highlights Bellerophon's heroism. The Chimera symbolizes chaos in the amalgamation of various dangers into one monstrous form. The Sphinx, with the body of a lion and the head of a human, is known for its riddles and its role as a guardian of the city of Thebes. It terrorized the city by posing a riddle to travelers and devouring those who could not solve it. The most famous story involving the Sphinx is the tale of Oedipus. The riddle posed by the Sphinx was, what walks on 4 legs in the morning, 2 legs at noon, and 3 legs in the evening? Oedipus correctly answered, man, who crawls as a baby, walks on 2 legs as an adult, and uses a cane in old age. Defeated, the Sphinx killed itself, freeing Thebes. The Sphinx symbolizes knowledge, mystery, and the power of intellect. In Egyptian mythology, the Sphinx also appears, but with slightly different attributes and roles, often serving as a guardian of temples and sacred sites. The Sphinx's presence in Greek mythology highlights the cross-cultural exchange of myths and the enduring fascination with this enigmatic creature. The Sirens were dangerous creatures with the body of a bird and the head of a woman. Their enchanting voices lured sailors to their doom, causing ships to crash on the rocky shores of their island. Odysseus, on his journey home from the Trojan War, famously encountered the Sirens. To safely navigate past them, he had his men plug their ears with beeswax and tied himself to the mast of his ship, allowing him to hear their song without succumbing to its lure. This clever strategy ensured that none of his crew were lost to the Sirens' enchantment. The Sirens symbolized temptation and the perils of giving in to destructive desires. In earlier myths, Sirens were associated with Persephone and the underworld, believed to be spirits that escorted souls to the afterlife. Over time, their image evolved into the dangerous temptresses known for their deadly songs. Their role in mythology highlights the dangers of losing oneself to irresistible allure and the strength needed to overcome such temptations. The Cyclops were one-eyed giants known for their strength and craftsmanship. They were the sons of Uranus and Gaia and were skilled blacksmiths, forging thunderbolts for Zeus. One of the most famous Cyclopses is Polyphemus, who appears in Homer's Odyssey. Odysseus and his men became trapped in Polyphemus's cave and had to devise a cunning plan to escape. They blinded the giant with a sharpened stake and sneaked out by hiding under a sheep. The Cyclops represent brute strength and the challenges of overcoming seemingly insurmountable obstacles through cleverness and ingenuity. In Hesiod's Theogony, the Cyclopes are portrayed more positively as skilled craftsmen who forge powerful weapons for the gods, including Zeus's thunderbolt, Hades' helmet of invisibility, and Poseidon's trident. This dual portrayal highlights the complexity of the Cyclopes in Greek mythology as both fearsome adversaries and invaluable allies to the gods. The Harpies were wind spirits with the body of a bird and the face of a woman. They were agents of punishment, often depicted tormenting wrongdoers and stealing food. In the story of Jason and the Argonauts, the Harpies tormented the blind prophet Phineus by stealing his food and leaving him in perpetual hunger. The Argonauts, particularly the Boreads, managed to drive the Harpies away, allowing Phineus to eat in peace. The Harpies symbolize divine retribution and the consequences of wrongdoing. Homer describes the Harpies in the Iliad as powerful and swift creatures who could carry people away. Over time, their role expanded into symbols of punishment, particularly for those who offended the gods. The name Harpies itself comes from the Greek word harpazo, meaning to snatch, reflecting their role as abductions and punishers. Pegasus, the winged horse, was born from the blood of Medusa when Perseus decapitated her. This magnificent creature is often depicted as pure white and symbolizes inspiration and freedom. Pegasus is best known for aiding the hero Bellerophon in his quest to slay the Chimera. With Pegasus's help, Bellerophon could fly and attack the Chimera from the air. Pegasus later became a symbol of poetic inspiration and was placed among the stars as a constellation. Pegasus embodies the idea of soaring to new heights and achieving greatness. In another myth, Pegasus created the Hippocrene, a spring on Mount Helicon, by striking the ground with his hoof. This spring was considered sacred to the Muses, further linking Pegasus to the arts and creativity. His legacy continues to inspire poets, artists, and dreamers to reach for the skies. So there you have it, the top 10 mythical creatures from ancient Greece. From the fearsome Minotaur to the majestic Pegasus, these legendary beings have left an indelible mark on our culture and imagination. Their stories continue to inspire and captivate us, reminding us of the rich tapestry of myths and legends that have been passed down through the ages. If you enjoyed this journey through Greek mythology, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more explorations into myths and legends. Until next time, stay curious and keep questioning.